Alright, so as I told you, we are going to start with the first lesson, the basic abbreviations lesson. So Emmet makes coding faster and easier using a variety of keyboard shortcuts. We call them Emmet abbreviations. They are not only available in HTML, but also in JavaScript when coding with React, Vue, Angular, Next, etc. So I will show you how to do so at the end of the course. Let's take a look at these awesome abbreviations one by one. So the first one is pretty easy. So it will look like that every time with each abbreviation. So a quick title or description, shortcuts, and a more complete description. Okay, so right there, element name plus tab or enter. So basically, if you are not using Emmet, you will do something like that. You will open a chevron, write P and close it. And well, with VS Code, it will already create the closing tag for you, but it's much longer than just press P and enter or tab, and it will just create your element. So you can also create a div, you press enter or tab. You can also create a form, and with some elements, it will add an attribute. So for example, with a form or an image or an input, etc., etc. You can also create some head elements like link. It can be useful if you want to add a style sheet, and also, I don't know, title, etc., etc. All right, so very easy to do, very easy to understand. You can create some elements just with the name of the tag. Okay, add a doc type with exclamation mark. This one is very, very good. So for example, you go there, you just press exclamation mark and you press enter or tab, and it will create a full working example of an HTML page, just the basic layout. So doc type, HTML, meta charset, UTF-8, also the meta name viewport for the responsive, title, etc., etc. So it's very useful. The other one, well, it's not that useful, I guess. Like just triple exclamation mark will create a single doc type. So I'm using this one a lot, but this one not so much, to be frank. Okay, the other abbreviation, the next abbreviation will be the class abbreviation with the dot. So it's the iconic, I would say, abbreviation, Emmet abbreviation. You're going to use this one a lot. So, well, you can just write dot class, for example, here, and it will assume that you want to create a div because you are at the top level of your code. So basically, yeah, it will assume it. Well, what is that? It's called an implicit tag. For example, if you were in a span and inside that span you would like to use class 1 like that, it will guess that you want to use a span inside a span, because in HTML it's not allowed to create block element inside of inline element. Okay, so by default at the top level you just have to write dot class 1, for example, if you want to create a div. If you don't want to create a div, you can just write whatever you want on the left side and it will work just the same. So for example, P, or really whatever you want. Okay, so yeah, this is for the first one, so I will just let this one. So as I told you, you can also use element.class. So h1.mainTitle, for example, it will just work fine. And you can add multiple classes too, for example, section.container.contact section.striped section, you name it, up, and you have something like that. So it's very useful. Automatically create a div with a class container, create an h1, create a section. Okay, very useful, kind of easy to understand too. You just have to use the dot if you want to add one class or multiple classes. Then in the same vein, you also have the ID with the hashtag. So it's basically the same. You can just copy it and press tab and it will create a div with the ID title. And here it will create an input with the ID name input. All right, so well, nothing more to say here. You can also mix both of those abbreviations seen above. So for example, element.class1 to create an element with a class, dot class 2 to add another one, and hash ID to add an ID 2. Okay, so just like that, h1, 2 classes and 1 ID. Okay, easy to understand and very useful. You could also create attributes with the brackets. So element brackets attribute here equals content. So for example, input type color here, and it will create that. Or also you could create an image here with source and alt, and it will just work like that. So I'm not really using this one, maybe, yeah, sometimes with some inputs, but with image, I'm just using the VS Code IntelliSense, so IMG, and you just have to press tab or enter, and it's already kind of great because the cursor will go there, and then you can find the image that you want. So it's easier to just use the image tag like that. So just the element shortcuts, okay, so image, and enter or tab. But if you prefer to use this one, well, go ahead, you're free to do whatever you want. Then this one is very, very great too. So we can multiply elements with the, well, I would call it a star. We call it an asterisk, but I don't know, so we will call it a star. So shortcuts, element star x. Okay, so x is the number of time you want to multiply it. So for example, input type number times 6, and it will create 6 input. Well, it's on one line here, so you can click here and press alt, and click here, 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 and here, and press enter, and voila, it's perfect. Okay, so it's just with VS Code, you can press alt and multiply the cursor. Okay. All right, so it's already 7 minutes, so I don't want to create long videos, so we will cut it there and see you in the next one to continue everything. Yes, to continue everything.